Good to be sitting back here and I'm relaxing, I'm chill and don't have anything major to worry about. There's a certain game going on I really don't give a rip about. But I digress as always. Good you guys having a little bit of a sit down. You're not worried about anything else that's going on in the world right now and you decide to just jump on and see how I'm doing. Well, it's a little bit of story time. But in a sense, I'm going to do this video right here, kind of a little bit of another appreciation video, if you will. But there are many people out there that just think now that I'm starting to do all this crazy stuff on YouTube, it's not really crazy. I'm still learning and still I need this. I need to get, now that I got the 50, I need to get to 500. A little help would be nice. Help the kid out. He's got bills. But at the same time, you do like everything that we've been doing on here, all the talks, all the topics that we've been doing, a little bit of comedic humor the entire time. There's a thing called a subscribe button. You want to hit that, and you get alerted to what's new and what's going to be coming out. And you like all the stuff that we've been doing, and you continue to like my work. Hit the like button and throw a comment in every once in a while. This video is a little bit of an appreciation. You very well may have to get yourself a nice little glass of wine or a nice little bottle of Starry or something. Not saying they pay me to say that, because people are wondering how I've made it this far. Well, I know a handful of people who've helped me along the way. Let's go to the video. Roll the intro. And as always, anytime you get an opportunity to join in, it's always a good conversation. We're always trying to do different stuff, Gen Z stuff, hockey talk, a little bit of sports talk, a little bit of life talk, and a little bit of influential talk. And if any people are wondering, I'm just hanging out with my Journey t-shirt on because Journey is one of the greatest bands of all time. You can ask my sister. Who doesn't love Journey? Anyway, don't have to worry about doing anything like that because people still wonder to this day as I get myself situated like I always do. This video is a little bit more, of course, of appreciation. Kind of almost, you could say, what would be a good part 2 of the Who is Jimmy Jam type of thing. Now, that video that I did a long time ago, I had to double check on my stuff. 5 months ago I did that video. And really hasn't really aged because nothing's really changed. You want to find that video as a good part 1, find it, learn from it, in case you want to know a little bit more about me. But the same sense, I want to get this out. I don't know how long a video this is going to be, but I'm going to try to do my best to just zoom through this because there's been a lot of people who I have definitely learned from and have taken a great deal of knowledge from. When I was in high school, there was not a lot of time for me to try to worry about grades and everything. I got through, not saying I got through barely, but I did just enough to become like a good B student, or what I honestly don't remember. I don't give a rip at this point. But the bullying was tough. That stuff I still am very big about, but that's over and done with. But you don't get a chance to, but you learn from a lot of different people. You have to take all the stuff that you've known and take the stuff that you've encountered from different people, whether it was bullies, whether it was best friends, whether it was teachers, whether it was your own flesh and blood. So I'm going to say a little bit of people that have really been big influences in my life now that I'm going to be hitting 49 very soon. And yes, we are adulting. Adulting, I believe, is deep down overrated. But we could laugh about that down the road because, Gen Z can sit there and say, we're going to run the world. Well, we can easily sit there as Gen Xers and Boomers and say, yeah, we didn't sign up for this. But we're going to laugh about it and have ourselves a little bit of fun. So who's the most influential people that I know of? Well, let me think about that. Oh, yeah. Who's most influential? My mom and my dad. Love them to death. My dad was a state policeman. My mom was all over the place doing stuff for family's greenhouse, and she's a saint at First United Methodist Church. And I don't care what anyone says, she's a saint. God bless her. My big sister, who is 4 years older than me, who's also 4'11", 5 foot, will in fact left hook you in the freaking jaw if you say something bad about her. She's beaten me up many times, and she's also my big sister. She's Lucy. I am Linus, and I love her to death. So there's a lot of things we don't agree with, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that I do ask about. And pretty much we both still act like we're still in our 20s and 30s, but we know we're getting up there and there's no going back. But I love her. I love Susie. I will hold whatever to her. But and there's another good one. There's another good one in my family. My nephew. The only thing we got, it's Chad, and it's good old Chad Owen, and he's now 21. God bless him. He's doing his golf thing. He's doing his frat thing. He's now having a life at the University of Cal, and which is now, from what I've heard, Penn West or something. I don't know, but he's going to have a life now. He's doing his own thing, living his own life now. Still doing his studies. He's got to do that. But once in a while, he says hi once in a while, and I got to get out to Pittsburgh and see him once in a while, one of these weekends. But I don't get around if it wasn't for those people, especially with folks. I go fast forward, and I jump to my days where I did my thing in business school and outside of Penn State University, and then for the time being, I was always trying to look for that good one thing in life, and that was just trying to push myself foot forward. That was my original task of finding my old bosses from the other place, but it was the place in State College that I started at. There's a man named Tom Husser who was my first boss in that business, and I had some some side jobs elsewhere while I was in school. But at the same time, this was the one where this was going to help me through until I found some. But at the same time, if it wasn't for this guy, along with an MIW, and along with I'd end up turning into a manager himself named Steve Daniels. It wasn't for those two people, I literally would probably not be who I am today, or not have the knowledge that I had. And I wish them both well. I don't talk to Tom much anymore. He's doing his thing, and he's doing his thing for the company. And Steve, he gets on me for my regressions, and I get him about Blackhawks hockey. And he's a Washington fan and a Mets fan, and we both like to take jabs at each other, and we love it. We've had some game nights with his old friend and his friend Chris, and he's an old gamer as well. So we do chat every once in a while, and I wish him well, Steve. I wish you well. Maybe we'll have you on someday. I zoom across and I pick. I gotta do this fast as I don't want to make this a toy long video, but there's all this time that I was in State College, and I was working there, and I had pretty much a second life. Work there, to pack a bag, go play ball or play floor hockey at the rec hall or IM building, and then go out and I see all the people I knew at the club, whether the name of the club was Players / Indigo / Basement, whatever it is now. But I ran into many people. I've ran into many people. There was a gang, I wouldn't say a gang, but a group of people led by a kid named Christian Colazo. He was a Puerto Rican kid, and one of the funniest guys I've known, and I knew him for a long time. And that group of people, some of the people were in and out, whatever, but at the same time, I don't know these people if I didn't know Christian. I didn't know a guy named Matt Gottschall who lives in Jersey Shore. We hung out many times, went to a club out in Williamsport. Good guy, family guy now outside Williamsport, Jersey Shore area. Miss that guy. Miss that guy. Oh man, a lot of these guys I miss. And it goes into a little bit of a big zoom. While I'm working in State College, I don't want to compare apples to oranges, but to my time in State College, knowing people, and my time in Altoona or the Hollingsburg area or whatever, is so different. And sure, they're much younger. Altoona people I still have time with because they're almost around my age at the time. But there were many people that I ran into during that time. I ran into a bunch of people that represented an R&B group named Pressure. And it was led by a Philadelphia kid named Mark Sharon. It was him, and along with John Benton, I think that was his name, and he had a handful of others. There were 6 of them. I would hang out with them once in a while after work at Penn Towers, and they were the coolest cats you'd ever meet. Great talent. They sung their butts off. They won a couple contests. And Mark, I see you every once in a while. Doesn't really happen because you're on Beverly Hills, because he took his degree in business and in music, and he's doing his thing in a production company and does his acting over in California, over in Hollywood, and he's doing his thing. And I wish him well. He's doing fantastic work. The rest of the guys I haven't heard from, but Mark I check once in a while, but he's a Penn State through and through. But it's those darn Philly people. They're all over the place. Trust me, he's a diehard Eagles fan, and we hear about that all the time. EAGLES Eagles. Anyway, speaking of which, I mean, I've run into, because that area is a lot Philly based. I run into those guys. I run into the old Rams squad, the old breakdancing crew that was with Little John. John Major, Mikey P was a big funk player. I miss him dearly. There's a couple guys named Ron Jules. He does his stuff. He does stuff. He does some teaching in Colorado. Good guy. And a couple guys named Johnny Abasco. I can't get his last name because I don't have that stuff because I'm on the phone right now. But he's doing some Bollywood stuff in San Diego. I think it's San Diego now. He's doing fantastic work. There was a guy named Rocky Agawa, and he was a great liquid popper. Those guys in Ram Squad, if I don't learn from them, I don't do the stuff that I do. I don't learn from them. I don't know them. Then I'm just a washed up breaker or b-boy, whatever. So I miss them dearly. There's a couple guys named Mike Smith, who's a DC resident. He works for the government. He's married with 3 beautiful girls. He lived in Switzerland for a while. He's now back in town, and he was a big hardcore stepper, and I miss that dude dearly. I miss a lot of these guys. Mike Smith, great dude, love him. And I also miss a couple of guys. There's a person named Jennifer Lumpkins. She's a Philly girl. A lot of big dancer of her own self, has her own business outside the Philly area in DC. If I don't know half of these people, then I wouldn't be the person I have. I didn't grow as a person. I didn't get sources. I didn't get a chance to meet other people. And I probably am the one person in my family is, besides my own dad, besides my dad, that has met the most people ever in their life. And I know my mom, God love her, Nana herself, is very vocal, and she loves to talk. She hasn't met as many people as me and my dad have. So I miss all those Philly people back in the day. I really do. Some of them were from Pittsburgh. Some of them were from around the area, New York, DC, even the Virginia area, West Virginia down. They were all coming up from everywhere, and I got a chance to meet a whole heck of a lot of people. And all of that stuff that I did in State College led me to the people that I knew in Altoona, and led me to the people that I knew, the groups I knew in Altoona. I had an old group that was led by a couple guys named Damien and Raul and Tanya and Lori and a German girl named Ava. I think that's her name, and a handful of others. Because when one group is gone and they all go and they do their own thing, you got to learn to meet new people and find others. And if it's starting to become a chain reaction, if I don't meet this group, I don't get to this group, I don't get to the next one. It's a chain reaction of things and people that you have to learn from. And I don't meet those people. I don't meet the current group that I am with and that I knew today. And that's my executive director and my producer and the boys that I knew back in the day around 99, 2000. Those people, it is my executive director and his cousin named Adam. Adam is a kingpin for his own video game corporation, for Adventure Quest. I think that's his name, and I am hoping we have him on the podcast someday. If I don't run into him and his cousin, I do not have like a second or third family. If it's not for those two, I don't have a couple people named Chad or Harold, or even Justin Donahue, who I've talked about on this channel. He is also the wrestler known as Andrew Lovelace on my wrestling takes. Great dude doing well, and I miss them all. When you're doing your own thing, you don't get a chance to see those people. When you're living, not necessarily saying living alone, but you work, you do your thing. You think you have time to actually pick yourself up and go see these people. It's very hard. Adulting is very hard. We all have to do it because most of them have families. Most of them have their jobs, and sometimes their job is their life. And these people, I wish them all well. I don't talk to them every single day, and I love them to death. And and some of them, some of them, it's not necessarily a love thing; it's a like thing. And if I'm missing anybody, throw a comment in or something, because I know I'm not going to get to everybody. I don't want to make this a half-hour long video. But I miss these people and these groups that I have known. And it all circles around through many people that I also associate with half a dozen times. Like I talk about Zach Huey and Addict Talks. He got me on a podcast one day. We'll get him on one day. And Mike Zeke for Imagine Wrestling. And a bunch of other stuff that we did. And some of them were also co-workers. And some of them were also co-workers in the other place. And some of them that I'm still friends with, I want to keep it that way. The rest are in the past, and we'll keep it that way. I also want to throw one more person out, and that is also there's a young lady named Deandra Miller, and she was a very big piece of my life, way early back, probably in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I know I'm missing a whole bunch of people, but that person still talks to me for 25 some years. And I kind of regret not having any major things with her. But when you have somebody that pretty much, she meets you at a club, and it's one of those people that never takes your eyes off you, you kind of get that little thing. You kind of get that nick in your head. And let's just fast forward. Long story short, I'm glad her and I are still friends. That person has literally said to me, I love you, I care about you, I care about your happiness. She's married, she moved on. I wish her well, I'm happy for her. But at the same time, it's also that what if? If I would have had a relationship with her, I probably would have never gotten to do the things that I got to do and write it down and splurt it out to you. But we still have contact. We're still, she's a workaholic, does her thing. It's her husband and her dogs, that's her kids. And I wish them well, I really do. And, we're still friends, and that's the bottom line. I have a lot of people that I say that I'm very close and influential with. But I'm going to wrap this up because I've done this enough and it's long enough, and we want to relax for the evening. You run into people in your life, and you always want to see that. You always want to remind yourself, if I didn't know this person, that person, you add it all up. Take everything. Don't take all those people for granted. You take them to a point where, it's not like saying, man, I got to give that person their flowers, because if I didn't run into that person, I would never be this person. I say that from every person I ever met, whether they're old bosses, enemies, or, if they were best friends or whatever. Always have that little piece in your mind, in the back of your head, that if there's people that that they were a big piece of your life and the big piece of what you are today, don't ever let those people go. Take it with a grain of salt. Even if you have to just blurt out a message saying, hey, I was thinking about you the other day. I want to say thank you for being an influence in my life, and just being, even if it was just a small part, whether it was a year or 2 years or even 6 months, throw something at that person. Because you just don't know. You may never run into that person again. You may never hear from that person again. So I have all those people that I'm very, very happy that I've met. Some of them I very well may never see again. But I'm happy, I'm proud, I'm glad I got to know them. Sometimes they say hi once in a while on the Facebook or Instagram. But they know what I'm doing now. They know I'm a workaholic. They know I have some time off, that I'm doing this side gig now. And they have a chance to, see what this little degenerate, journeyman can do. And I appreciate that. You like this more story time, but again, there's a subscribe button, hit that. There's a like button, do all that same stuff I've been saying all this time. And I appreciate you hanging out for a little bit. I really wanted to get this video out. And I know there's stuff coming out and old stuff that I'm going to throw out once in a while. But I appreciate you hanging out. This was something I wanted to get out and get off my chest, because I miss these people. If I forgot to mention anybody, I apologize. But this is me, and if it wasn't for all those people that I just said, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I thank each and every one of them. I appreciate each and every one of them, whether I don't talk to them, whether I don't have contact with them or not. And I thank you, the general public, you bloody legends, for hanging out. We're going to do this again soon. We'll see you on the podcast soon someday. And until then, the bar is closed. And I wish each and every one of you be safe, enjoy your evenings, enjoy whatever. And I will see you once again down the road in the next one. Yes, again, bar is closed. Thank you very much for listening and putting up with me. We'll do this again soon, people. Laters.